All right, everybody. So, obviously, for those that follow along on Twitch, YouTube's always going to be behind Twitch because of how much progress we make per night. If you're behind, well, here's your spoiler warning. Your beautiful spoiler warning. We have hit the end of Season 2. It is May of 2023. 1 year from now. And what happened? The Boston Bruins fell short in the Stanley Cup Final to the Vegas Golden Knights. That's what happened. That is what happened. It sucks, and I hate it, and I don't like it, but that is our current reality. We lost in the Stanley Cup Final. So heading into this offseason, first and foremost, we have some contracts to worry about. LFC, what's going on? Everton stays up. Yeah, I saw. It was a real bummer, but on the flip side, then I can go back to not paying attention to them whatsoever. Because now it's just like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, they're sticking around. No problem. All right, so goalie-wise, obviously, Swayman's an RFA. We are not going to worry about that contract yet, Sway. I don't know if I can afford to pay $11 million to our goalies. Defensively, surprise, surprise, we really have nothing to worry about. Unless we elect to bring back Connor Clifton. That's also a bit much, Connor. That's a little bit much. Especially if I'm holding on to the likes of Mike Riley and Matt Grzelcyk until their contracts are up. I don't know if we can bring him back either. And then there's the big name, the top priority, David Pastrnak, who does want to re-sign. So we are going to get this deal done ASAP. The sweet spot really does seem to be that 6-year term that he wants. I am going to try the 85% trick. Let me make sure I simmed far enough ahead that it gave us the new season details. There we go. If I sent him an offer before that rolled in, he'd immediately reject. I was fortunate to be at the Rangers-Angels game last night. It was a great ball game. What happened? I haven't been to a baseball game in too long. I can't even remember yesterday. Aside from Calgary, Edmonton, nothing else sports-wise yesterday comes into mind. Thoughts on the Panthers not playing defense for the last 10 seconds. Panthers are choking. They're down 2-0 to the Lightning after tonight. They are choking, is the best way to explain it. Wow, 6 years really is the sweet spot. Look at how drastically the money changes. Again, 85% trick doesn't always work on somebody like Pastrnak. It's better with RFAs, but we are going to try this. It's going to be $9 million over 6 years. This would be an incredible sweetheart deal if he's willing to take it. Let's hope that he does. The rest of our business is based on what happens from there. Andrew Kopp's deal's up. Thank God Nick Foligno's deal is up. And then Hall is up as well. We need to see what happens with Pasta first here in these next few days. Who chokes more this round, Panthers or Avs? Well, considering the Avs have won a game already, considering that. Warrior, what's up? It was. Unfortunate result, though. It was by far the best Panthers playoff game. Best game this playoff, though. I'd consider one of the games that they won to be better. David Pastrnak takes the slight sweetheart deal at 6 years, $9 million, which is beautiful. So Pasta is back long term. We still don't know if Patrice Bergeron's going to retire this offseason. All right, so other expiring deals. How much money do we have to work with? We got $12 million to work with. Andrew Kopp wants $5 million. I do love me some Andrew Kopp. That might be a bit too much. In terms of upcoming free agents, Nathan McKinnon. McKinnon could end up being a free agent. Jordan Kyrou, who obviously wouldn't work down the middle. Rupe Hintz, Troy Terry, Evgeny Malkin, Joe Pavelski, JT Miller, Claude Giroux, Ryan O'Reilly, And technically, I mean, again, Kopp really should be someone who can play all 3 forward spots. Do you take the sure thing with Andrew Kopp, or do you look elsewhere, is the big question. At $5 million. I mean, McKinnon was obviously insane. We're not going to have the money to compete with Nathan, for Nathan McKinnon. Rupe Hintz, also fantastic. He is a fantastic center. He's going to get big money. Troy Terry almost put up 60 points. Again, we're looking at centers. Evgeny Malkin's still solid, but he is not a long-term solution. Same for Joe Pavelski. JT Miller. Despite pretty good offensive numbers, especially that shot accuracy and big tipper, he did not do very well this season. 37 and 61. Might look to avoid that. Then again, Vancouver brought in Gino, so that could have affected him. That fucking scrolling issue. Scroll back through everybody here really quickly. Claude Giroux still solid, not a long-term solution for us. Ryan O'Reilly had no points at all. Holy hell. What the hell happened in St. Louis? They must be playing him on the 3rd line still. He's just not getting power play time either. Honestly, Ryan O'Reilly might be available then for super cheap. Robert Thomas had 56 assists, but he's going to be an RFA. And then there's Copper. 15 and 32. You know, Andrew Kopp is a pretty safe bet. He is a pretty safe bet. It's just how risky do we want to be? So think down the middle. I mean, again, I'd consider Kopp a center. Bergeron, Kopp, Coyle again. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. And then left wings, obviously, Marchand, Hall, potentially DeBrusk. And then right-hand side, Pasternak, Steen, who's developed really well. Maybe John Beecher's our 4th-line center. Unless he steps up to 3rd line, that's going to be a problem. I think we can afford to try to bring back some of these guys. I think we can. So Andrew Kopp, he does want to sign an extension. He wants a 3-year deal, which is in the sweet spot for his asking price. Would Thomas be worth the compensation? Potentially. But we don't know what his asking price is going to be, and that's the problem. So Andrew Kopp on the 85% trick, we could go about $475 for 3 years. That's a damn good deal. Under $5 million for Kopp at 3 years. Kind of a safe bet to be a solid middle 6 guy alongside Coyle. This wouldn't work unless Bergeron had taken the sweetheart deal that he did. 4 would be way too low. He wouldn't accept it. That's pretty much the lowest offer I could send. So $475. I can't imagine I'm bringing back Holla. I have no space for him whatsoever. And then Craig Smith. Craig Smith wants less than 3. You know, I think we go for it. I think we go for it. Like I said, I'm looking at those forwards, the free agents that are out there, particularly down the middle. And from what I could tell, it's still going to be Marchand, Bergeron, and Pasta. And then say we run Kopp at center. I'm going to make the one exception because, again, he should have all 3 starting spots or, forward positions available, but you can't do that in the game. We'd have Hall, Kopp, and Steen, DeBrusk, Coyle, and probably Smith, which does leave out Holla. But, I mean, it's kind of between Andrew Kopp and Eric Holla. Guess who I'm going to take? And then the 4th line, pending, could be Frederick, Beecher, and Stud. That's a damn good team. Not to mention guys like Lauko are close to being on the way up, and thankfully again, like Nosek's off the salary list there. So is Nick Foligno. So was Chris Wagner. So we are freeing up a good amount of money here. I think we go for it. The only thing that could screw it up is whether or not the fourth liners end up being better than expected. But I think we go for it. So it's Andrew Kopp. 4.75 for 3 years. We're going to go for it. Eric Holla, you are gone, sir. I mean, it's not as if he even had that good of a season. So I'm good with letting Eric Holla go. But Craig Smith, I'm good with bringing him back. The only other choice, basically Oscar Steens replaced Eric Holla, which is fine. So Craig Smith. Good old Craig. I'm a little bit worried about you. But $2.5 million over 3 years, if you accept that, that's a pretty good deal. Let's see what happens. We already got Pasta back. Come on. Craig Smith does re-sign. What about Kopp? Andrew Kopp comes back too. So 3 new contracts and honestly 3 sweetheart deals. Leaves us with $7 million left. That does leave us with $7 million left. Again, I have no space for Eric Holla on this team. And if Connor Clifton's looking for over $2 million, it's not looking good. Is there any way to change a player's position in franchise? No, they removed the ability for us to do that, and I don't know why. Like, you can't cheat by switching player positions around for perfect chem because it's not like you're competing with anybody else but yourself. So, Macho, it's all good. First inning was typical. Then Walsh drops a bomb in his first at bat. Extra innings top of 10th. Inning scope range just went with the walk-off. Did they? See, the only walk-off I heard about in the past day was what happened with the Mets game today. All right. $6 million bucks. Like I said, I have no room for Eric Holla at all. The only way I'd have space to keep Eric Holla is if I were to get rid of Oscar Steen, to move Kopp over to the wing, or get rid of DeBrusque. None of that I'm looking at doing. So yeah, we'll move on from Holla. Probably moving on from Clifton. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 with Forbert. Yeah, we can just let go of Connor Clifton. I might have to play Derek Forbert on the offside for defense, but he kind of does that with the Bruins anyway. So, and then Zaboral's there as a secondary option. So honestly, I don't know what we're gonna do in free agency, if anything. Just kind of sign the rest of our RFAs. Now, really, that $6 million is going to Jeremy Swayman. So we're pretty much locked in. The Buffalo Sabres do win the draft lottery. Islanders move up from 5 to 2. And that is it in terms of movement. So the Buffalo Sabres have the number 1 overall pick this year. Okay, Patrice Bergeron does not retire. Thank God. I was real worried. Goalie-wise, Craig Anderson, Brian Elliott, Devin Dubnyk are gone. Defensively, Duncan Keith, Keith Yandel, Chris Russell, Sakara, Jordy Ben retires as a member of the Providence Bruins. Right-hand side, Wayne Simmons is gone. Trevor Lewis, Ryan Reeves. You got Louis Erickson, the God. The God, Louis Erickson. And then at center, Joe Thornton and Eric Stahl. I still can't believe they don't have an MLB style, end of the season, these players made the Hall of Fame. Can't believe that. Just confirm to me that Joe Thornton's in the Hall of Fame. As St. Louis is potentially going to beat Colorado here. Goddamn. Mr. Webster, how are you? It's good to see you. How about it, everybody? How about it? The logo of all logos. And I'm not talking about the thumbnail for this series. The logo of all logos. By the way, big congrats to Chloe I guess it would be Primerano. That's incredible news. Look at this! The Savannah Ghost Pirates. Make sure you follow Danny on Twitter. The Savannah Ghost Pirates. I just hope their jerseys aren't garbage, man. I really hope. There have been some teams that I've really, really liked And unfortunately, the jerseys end up being trash. Let's hope those aren't. They have to knock it out of the park. Incredible logo. Wow, a lot of staff members now. A lot of scouts. Okay. So to the draft we go. We know Patrice Bergeron is still with us. Thank God. Thank God. The Islanders are shopping the second overall pick. Wow, a lot of picks. 3 out of the top 5. Potentially on the move here. Interesting. Again, we don't have our full set of draft picks because I did all that work to make sure that the AI didn't lose their prospects. So that affects us a little bit in this draft. Of course, Swayman and Allmark are going nowhere. We're sticking with them. I am sticking with that Allmark contract for as long as I reasonably can as a punishment. And again, Swayman's going to have to be signed. Defensively. Ooh, Simon. Simon, I forgot we drafted you last year. Woo. He's going to be ready by like age 21 at the latest. Let's go. Obviously, again, there's Mike Riley. I'm probably going to hold on to him because his value, I admit, is higher than it should be or would be in a real-life scenario. There's really nobody else to move. I mean, again, we accidentally took on Curtis McDermott. You got Saboro, Forbert we're holding on to. I don't really think we have anybody to move. Like Tristan Luna, Mason Lohrei is very close to being NHL ready as well. But in terms of prospects to move for a top pick, it's not great. Fabian Lassell, someone who will have a higher starting overall rating after his junior season this year. But again, I didn't get to edit the junior leagues before we started this. Stud's still a fourth liner. We bring back Kopp. We have Hall. DeBrusk has no trade value at all. Didn't mean for that to rhyme. Oscar Steen's value, man, it's gone up a significant amount. I don't really see how we could possibly move up into the top 5. It would have to be in a... Ooh. Oh, the Islanders are stupid, though. It's the Michkov-Bedard draft, and then obviously you have computer-generated guys like Delmas and Pete. God. But what a draft to potentially trade up with, man. What would the Islanders want? Like, I could construct a trade easily. What would I put him at? I mean, after this year, potentially closer to like a 70. I'd have to double check the numbers. They want Brad Marchand. Not doing it. Not doing it. Now, I could sit there and easily concoct the trade involving my first round pick, you know, Tristan Luneau, Mike Riley plus to get that pick. They only want Brad Marchand. And that is not something I'm willing to do. Michkov does go first overall. Let's see if they've changed their mind at all about what they want for that pick. Have they changed their mind at all about what they want? It's far too easy to just trade up and get what you want. It's literally just Brad Marchand. I'm not doing it. I'm not risking Brad Marchand for future success. I want success now. We can talk to Vancouver and Tampa at 4 and 5 just to see if there's any interest there. Is Jim Benning still the GM in Vancouver? Jesus. Kopp, Riley, Clifton. I'm not trading Andrew Kopp. I'm not doing it. Steen, Kopp, Clifton, Grzelcyk, Beecher, Clifton. Kopp, Beecher, Clifton, Bergeron, Beecher, Clifton. Honestly, Grzelcyk, Beecher, Clifton. I am very tempted by. I am very tempted by that. I'm going to have to go double check who's available. And then Tampa at 5. Steen, Beecher, Lauko. Bergeron, Beecher, Lauko. So basically, I mean, I don't know if you want to consider Steen a prospect, but it's Steen, who's a middle 6 guy, and 2 of my better prospects for the 5th overall pick. Which is likely to be, I mean, again, you have computer-generated guys like Delmas, who's insane. Yarrow Pete, Also pretty damn good. Then you got Adam Fantilli, Zach Benson, Dvorsky, Stenberg, Quentin Musty, Duke Wild, son of Adam. Not quite NHL ready, at least confirmed. Oh, how much am I willing to sacrifice here for a prospect? Good prospect, but how much am I willing to sacrifice here? How much am I willing to sacrifice? We pretty much know the Islanders are going to make this pick. Vancouver at 4. Again, Grzelcyk, Beecher, and Clifton would be the deal. Can I take that big of a hit on defense? Connor Bedard goes 2nd overall to the New York Islanders. Sabres go for the winger over the center. Let me look at my team again really quickly. So obviously, like, losing John Beecher would mean I don't really have like a go-for option to slot in at 4th, on the 4th line. But the idea is if we keep John Beecher, Bergeron retires, Beecher slots in with Coyle and Kopp down the middle, which I don't hate. Defensively, it'd be McAvoy, Riley, Carlo, Lindholm, Forbert, and Zaboral. Unless we get a bigger free agent, but I don't know how much money I'm going to have to spend. Granted, we'll free up 3.5 from Grzelcyk, but I still have to sign Jeremy Swayman. Is a trade possible? Yeah. Am I totally convinced by it? No. I mean, it's the same idea. Take a temporary hit now for a better future. But I don't really care about the future. I care about the now. I want to win a Stanley Cup before Bergeron retires. And there's no doubt, though, that, like, Zach Benson... Like, if we have Zach Benson slot in... I mean, he does just kind of usurp John Beecher. He was a small boy, but... Like, Delmas and Pete, them being on the wing, doesn't necessarily help. And unconfirmed 1T for Pete. I mean, this would be the forward help. This would be the forward help. This is a tough choice, man. This is our first really tough choice of just how much do I want to leverage our immediate future. Again, Grzelcyk, Beecher, Clifton. Clifton's going anyway. So it's really just Grzelcyk and Beecher. And then Tampa. Mr. Nuge, how are you, sir? Tampa is, well... Jesus! Okay, then. 84. He has all 93s in shooting. Doesn't even have a gold X factor. Wow. 84 might be the highest. I've seen people find higher rated players in the draft. That might be the highest rated player I've seen. And now, wow, Vancouver. Vancouver swapped with Seattle. Montreal makes that move, and now Seattle's traded up. Seattle's going to take that other computer-generated guy for sure. Michkov did go number 1, correct. Maybe leverage the future. So now Vancouver has Seattle's 6th. Riley, Beecher, Clifton. Grzelcyk, Beecher, Clifton. Kopp, Beecher, Bergeron, Beecher. So that Grzelcyk, Beecher, Clifton deal is still on the table. Again, I don't want to necessarily trade Mike Riley because, again, I do think his value is higher than it should be. Even though I'm the one that set up these rosters. Tampa, Steen, Beecher, Lauko. Colorado and Columbus a little bit later on are willing to move a pick. We have no way to trade up and get Pete. We'd be looking at Fantilli, Benson, Dvorsky, Stenberg, Musty, Yeager. Funny thing is, I think we could wait and still end up with a Braden Yeager, who apparently is NHL ready. Don't have any reports on Musty. Stenberg's NHL ready. We could just wait this out. We could just wait this out. I mean, granted, Yeager is looking a bit shaky defensively. Then there's Pickenen, who's computer-generated. Duke Wild is also computer-generated. This is a tough call, man, because we set the computer, like the draft output to be bad for the first few years, and it's great. We have the 31st overall selection. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. How much do we give up to move up? Seattle's about to make that 4th overall pick. We're going to get thrown out of this menu here any second. I mean, this is a really solid draft. Pete was an 80. I'm waiting to see, like, who's available around the time we're drafting. There's Ludman. There's a guy by the name of Nordqvist, who is the winger version of Patrice Bergeron, apparently. Maybe we don't trade up. Maybe we wait for this guy. Maybe we don't trade up at all, and we wait for this guy. That is why it was worth checking. Interesting. Like, he's literally supposed to be there when we're selecting. And in terms of who else is available, I mean, again, like the medium 6s don't do much for us. You got this Jack Williams guy who's apparently NHL ready and close to being a confirmed medium elite. The Norwegian Jack Williams. Drapo, Leslie, of course, all these guys are real. I think we can do some good damage in this draft without taking that extra step to trade up into the top 10. But then you also have Wild. Pickenen looks like he's probably going to be an elite. And then you got all these guys, which are medium elites, guaranteed. I mean, again, Benson's NHL ready. Maybe it's being a football fan as well and watching Bill Belichick trade down in numerous drafts over my lifetime. I'm not denying there can be a game changer towards the front there, but there can also be a game changer here a little bit later on. Like if we try to get pick number 23, 24, and also keep our own pick, a lot of those picks are up for grabs at that stage of the draft. I think we hold on. It'll be a lot cheaper. I won't have to take a hit on how good our team is now, most likely to end up with those picks. We're going to let Tampa make this selection. Like, say the Ducks at pick 23 or Washington at 22. What do the Ducks want for the 23rd overall pick? They want Hampus Lindholm back. Taylor Hall in 2/3. Okay, so that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Washington at 22, they don't want to give up anything. You got Philly and LA. Let's sim Tampa's pick. They took Zach Benson, who's probably the guy that I would have gone for. Let's see what's up with Philadelphia here. Okay, this is starting to backfire a little bit. We might have to... oh, God. Well, Dallas at 17 is kind of my last hope. Dallas at 17 is kind of my last hope. Bergeron a third in Clifton. Kopp a fifth in Clifton. Carlo Clifton. Grzelcyk a sixth in Clifton. Riley in Clifton. So we can give up Riley, Clifton plus, because I'd want to give up a little bit more. So give up Riley, Clifton plus, which is okay. Or we give up a lot. Almost similar, actually, in a sense, with Vancouver, Colorado, or Columbus. One more check to see if that Vancouver offer is still up for grabs. Yeah, I mean, Grzelcyk, Beecher, Clifton. I can get away with getting a really solid prospect without having to give up Johnny Beecher. You could argue whether or not John Beecher should be the end-all, be-all for a confirmed, for what will be a confirmed medium elite. But at the same time, whoops, meant to go to the draft board. At the same time, like I said, while all of these guys here at the start of this draft are looking good, that would allow us to draft Jack Williams, who also looks like he's going to be pretty damn good. Hopefully. And then we keep our original pick and look at Nordqvist, who's a bit of a risk, but we could go 2-for-1 special here. Let's go talk to Dallas. I think Dallas is the deal to take. I'm going to let Vancouver sim their pick here. 6th overall, they take Adam Fantilli. This is a big risk. We might not be making the right move right here, but we're going to go for it. We're going to go for it. Mike Riley will kind of be the crux of this trade. Connor Clifton's a bit of a tack on because we're not going to be keeping Connor Clifton anyway. There's no denying. I mean, they have room defensively. They don't really need another top 4, necessarily. But yeah, I mean, no denying they could use an improvement instead of having Joel Hanley in there. Alright. Let me add a little bit more to this, because like I said, I feel bad about Riley's trade value. I do like me some Tristan Luneau, so I don't really want to give him up. If we look at forward prospects, though, it could be Stud, it could be Kuntar. We'll give up Marco Kasper in this deal. We'll also give up Lack, see if they can get him to develop. And I'm also willing to give up our 3rd round pick. So we're really sweetening the pot for them just because I feel bad about the Riley trade value. At the same time, I don't really want to get rid of Mike Riley. I just feel bad about trading Mike Riley because that frees up $3 million in cap space, you know? Like, I really don't feel right about getting rid of any of Don Sweeney's contracts. I don't. I really don't feel right about it. At the same time, I don't really want to organize my own trade because I don't want to rip the AI off. And when you organize your own trades, you do kind of tend to rip the AI off. I don't know if I'm going to do this trade. I feel bad because it was all this build-up of like, all right, let's do this, and then potentially nothing. But it just doesn't sit right. You know? It is a moral dilemma more than anything. It is. It is. Dvorsky goes to Detroit. Detroit just loves picking around 6, 7, 8, don't they? They love it. They can't get enough of it. I got to make a decision here. I have to make a decision here. Can hear the comments now yelling. It is the point, but it is unrealistic to say, like, yeah, I immediately came in and got rid of all the bad contracts and turned it around just like that. You know? That's not as fun to me. You gotta suffer for a little bit. You gotta suffer for a little bit, you know? Alright, Connor Clifton's gone anyway. And they want Connor Clifton's signing rights. And then we have a couple of guys like that secondary depth. Like Brett Harrison, Trevor Kuntar, Marco Casper. I didn't really want to organize my own trade, though. But this would be the way to do it. I'm just simming to our pick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I failed you. Pick number 31. Pick number 31. I couldn't do it. I can't do it. I can't rip off the AI. I can't do it. Morally, I just can't do it. Stenberg to Chicago. Quentin Musty to Colorado. Braden Yeager to Columbus. So yeah, a top 10 full of medium elites that was also picking in at 11. You got Seaback as well. Wild ended up being a 76 medium top 6. Zimmer, Edward Sale, Callan Lind, Riley Height, Maston Leslie, Nate Danielson, Sam Aremba, Levis Drapeau. You got Reed, Oren Strom. Man, what the computer generator got. Yeah. I couldn't do it, but that's who we would have ended up with. That's the boy we were looking at. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It would have been too easy. It would have been too easy. He's a hell of a player, too. He is a hell of a player, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Let's hope that dude we're looking at here around our pick is still available, and he is. This will soften the blow. If Nordqvist is actually this good, it will certainly soften the blow. Coco, thank you for saying you like it when you like series when people don't take advantage of the AI. It's very tough to resist the urge to just be like, yeah, fuck it, trade Mike Riley. If Matthias Nordqvist is good, though, all is well. All is well with Tougie's Boston Bruins. All is well, everybody. Have no fear. I will still get us to the promised land. Coco, I doubt it. I doubt they'll carry over. I'll have to do all this again, I'm sure. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. He's super well-rounded, too. Super well-rounded. Let's go. Makes me... He wears the number 69, for God's sakes. This is the right way. This is the way, everybody. We're going to win without taking advantage of the AI. We are going to win that way. He is an elite defensive defenseman. But or a defensive forward, but he's not a center, so he'll never win. He's the new Mark Stone. We just drafted Swedish Mark Stone. He'll never win a Selke. He'll never get the respect because he's not a center. We just drafted Swedish Mark Stone after losing to actual Mark Stone in the Stanley Cup final. He can take face-offs, but again, I'm not allowed to move him over to center. Beautiful, though. Beautiful. Vegas, to round out that first round, takes Gore. So, first round done after like 20 minutes. I apologize for that. Goddamn. Is there anybody next that we want to target as a potential trade-up? Apparently not. Hello, Jorgensen. He might not be that good. It's A- shooting, B- puck skills. Jorgensen's the guy to target. Our scouts apparently took the rest of the scouting time off. So Jorgensen, around pick number 50. So obviously 33, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. So we got a huge row. Carolina, San Jose, Dallas. Whoa. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. We'll go talk to Dallas first here. Dallas, what are you looking at this time? Smith and Lauko, Stud and DeBrusk, Frederick and Holla. We can move on from Trent Frederick. And Eric Hall is leaving anyway. And obviously my idea of who's going to be our fourth line center this year, or fourth line left wing, would change. I mean, literally all he provides is he just hits. He's good defensively, actually. He developed into that, but... What else do we got offered? What else do we have for offers? What do we got? Carolina. Nothing. San Jose. Luno and Clifton. A second rounder next year in DeBrusk. Not really feeling either of those, if I'm being honest. Not really feeling either of those. There was also St. Louis, the Islanders, a little bit earlier, Minnesota, Seattle, Arizona. Is there a better deal here for me? Allmark. Not getting rid of Allmark. Seattle, Luno, DeBrusk, Clifton. A second round next year, Marco Kasper and Connor Clifton. Done deal. Done deal. We'll swap second round picks. We'll get rid of Marco Kasper and Connor Clifton we're moving on from anyway. Done deal. No problem. Thank you very much, Seattle. Thank you very much, Seattle. We'll take pick number 38 and we'll draft that guy a little bit early. And right now, this run in the early second round looks abysmal. Let's hope this guy is actually good. We definitely traded up much earlier than we needed to, but we are hoping that Matthias Jorgensen. I'm taking all Swedes, baby. I went to the Detroit Red Wings School of Drafting. Matthias Jorgensen. I mean, it's an improvement on Marco Kasper. It is. I mean, we might not have a second round pick next year now, but I can always get that back. He's a little bit lower of an overall than I would have hoped, but he is a power forward with big tipper. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. We'll sim now to pick 63. All Matthias's all the time. All Matthias's all the time. The rest of this round, outside of Osborne, Murata, I guess, there's a couple. Ooh, Stefan. Joke's on me. There was somebody better. Our scouts just didn't find him. There has to be somebody here who's amazing, or I am totally trading down. Like, I need confirmed slam dunk, or I am 100% trading down and hopefully recouping a second round pick. What were our scouts doing? Jesus. Helma's a good shot. That's about it. Tucker McCutcheon. Terrible. All right. Let's see if we can trade this pick away. Let's see if we can trade this pick away, because that's awful. You check that goalie in the early second. Which one? All right. Third rounder this year in Stashny, a Stapchuk, and a fifth. 2 third-round picks next year. That helps. That certainly recoups the second rounder that we traded away. 2 third-rounders next year from Pittsburgh. 2 third-rounders this year from San Jose. We're taking that Pittsburgh deal. Easy. Easy. And just like that, we have recouped the draft picks that we gave away. Done deal. Pittsburgh, have fun drafting. Fuck all. Have fun. Don't remember. It's around pick 40. Oh, you mean the round pick 40? You mean the goalie that wasn't drafted yet? I mean, he's showing up as medium fringe. He hasn't been selected. Oh, this guy, Menino, high starter. 64 overall, high starter. Which isn't bad. Which isn't bad. So with that, we sim all the way to pick number 95. There might have been somebody else worth looking at here in the third round. Pretty damn... Man, the Florida Panthers are really benefiting from my mistakes. Although he's 19 and only at 52, so that's pretty rough. Is there anybody else? We are actually looking at these players. We got a medium elite goalie in Cheestoff, which is fine. We have Jeremy Swayman. I'm not going to cry about missing out on a goalie. Yeah, I don't feel that bad. Wozniewski would have been pretty good. But there's no guarantees that our scouts had good info on these guys. So, we'll see who the Penguins ended up with. I think it was Cunningham. It was a medium 9. Couple of medium 4s. No, wait, Murata was already off the board. Pittsburgh ended up with Chubasov. It was also a medium 9. So again, I don't feel bad at all about trading down. There's Kent Kadri, but he's a low 6. Trash potential. Westgart's 19. George Georgienkovits. Not that good either. Trenton Sagan. I should draft a Sagan just to trade him out of Boston again. Dude, my scouts didn't do a goddamn thing. Oh my god. Alright, time to trade out of the rest of this draft. Except for maybe Howard Green, but he's 19. Jesus. What the hell? I know I assigned them. They literally didn't do anything. They literally didn't do anything, so it is a complete crapshoot if I were to actually draft somebody at this stage. Even if I sort by potential. Yeah, just... They literally robbed me blind. There's Noel Gentile, who has a garbage overall. He's available a little bit later on. Outside of that... Goodness. Well, I'm definitely not going to make a third-round selection if there's a good offer for my pick. And, you know, these later rounds, I'll throw darts out there. 4th and a 6th seems to be the going rate. 4th and a 6th next year from Edmonton. Not a bad way to go. We could get Limbaum, but obviously I don't want the Rangers to give him up. 4th and a 6th next year. We'll take it from Vancouver. Why not? So we got 4 picks left in this draft. We will just throw darts out there and see what the hell happens. There is this dude keeping who's 18. Probably not that good, but that's going to be one of the darts, I think. Where was that other guy? The low elite projected to go 168. All right, let's risk it for Nicholas Keeping. Medium 7th. Lord knows I won't be keeping him around. Said, what's going on, buddy? Here's the last guy that might be good. It's Noel Gentile, who is a low elite, but he's only a 49. God. Let's hope low elite still incredibly overpowered. Otherwise, we're boned. Aside from that, you can go shot in the dark if we want. We got Vaclav Pruka, who should be on the board a little bit later on. We got Gislason. If we wanted to kind of waste the pick on someone who we know isn't going to be that good. Nolan Bentham. Mr. Bentham. God. Low elite's better than no elite. You're not wrong. Let's take the risk on Vaclav Pruka really quickly. Yep, this is going about as I expected. At least we did really well with our first 2 picks of the draft. We'll take Keaton Sampson. Overage goalie. Overage goalie. Well, who even knows? Who even knows? You know, we are the Boston Bruins. Who's the biggest guy out there? DeAndre Grantham. The Grantham. DeAndre, welcome aboard. You're huge. 48 overall, medium bottom, 6 enforcer. Let's go. There we go. That's a pretty good draft. You know, again, I apologize for, like, hey, not being able to make up my mind about whether or not we were ripping off the AI or not. But between Nordqvist, Jorgensen, and potentially Gentile, I do think that's a pretty decent haul. And we kept the core of our team intact. And it brings us to the re-sign phase where we really don't have that much to do. Again, we know Eric Hall is gone. That's the one thing I should have done was shop Eric Hall's rights. But we got so wrapped up in other deals. We have $6.9 million to spend. And we do have to re-sign Jeremy Swayman, but he is an RFA, so he has really no control over how much money he gets. So I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good indeed.